like multi-talented.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
She is, and she's so it's a great film to watch if you. I've given it a go, shaping a board. It's not easy, but it's really rewarding.
Yeah.
And when you can actually surf it, and it actually does float.
There's a, you know, we've talked about this even, like how there's a lack of women shapers.
Yeah.
You know, I tried when we did the It Does Not Work surfboard show, and I was asking you if you knew of any female shapers even, and it was really slim.
Mm-hmm.
And it's starting to grow a bit, but hopefully like movies like this with Ashley Lloyd will inspire other women to just be like, I could do this too.
Absolutely.
It's not, you know, there's nothing in it. You know, I think women actually could be even better at it because of the attention to detail. A lot of women tend to be much better than men at.
Absolutely.
So I think it's really cool to see that movie.
So that then ties into another film we have called By Women, which is actually going to be a premiere at our festival. And it's a fiction storyline.
What?
I know, we don't see enough
You don't
of
see
that.
a lot of fiction films in surfing, really. That's awesome.
No, so the premise of the story is that there's a girl, she's 20 years old, and she dreams of becoming world champion, and she's training but realizes that something's missing. So she decides to make a special board, and By Women is born. So it's a fish twin fins board created completely by female hands, and its shape, lamination, keel, everything is molded by women. So then it becomes a whole, you know, process into how she gets through, and it goes from her past, present to her future, and talks about the connection between the surfer and the board, and it's beautiful. It's 15 minutes, and it's all the way from Brazil.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
Anna Veronica Roberto and Sam Manhus.
Nice.
Yeah. So we partnered with Stab magazine this year. And they're awesome. They've come out. They've got a premium channel where you can subscribe and you get all this amazing content and films. And one of the series that they have is the electric acid surfboard test.
Yes.
And I found that out when they did Steph Gilmore.
Yeah.
Hers was amazing. But this year we're going to be screening the one that has Mason and Coco Ho.
I love that.
Yeah, and it's a lot of Coco Ho, and she's just awesome.
The footage I've seen from it so far, like, holy crap, she's tearing the buckets out of those waves too. And on these really cool boards that you're like, I mean,
they're beautiful.
Yeah.
And they're all so different. I mean, she really knows how to surf everything, that girl.
Yeah.
I love that. I love, you know, films that kind of take a step outside and really kind of look at other features and angles of why we love surfing, you know?
Totally. And it kind of ties into the surfboard element in your kind of themes of films that you're screening.
Exactly.
What else that's noteworthy that we should mention?
There's so many. Quickly, Solace. This is Amanda, our exhibiting photographer's first film that she made.
Oh, wow.
So it's beautiful, and it touches on navigating during the 2020 pandemic. Like, she was in Sri Lanka for that year, and what was it like? I mean, we were all at home. Everyone raced back to where it was safe.
Yeah.
And she stayed there with her friends. So it's a beautiful 8-minute film just about being somewhere outside of your home and what that was like for them. So that's really exciting. We've got This Way, a Western film from the Paddy people. Always love their skate films. Definitely want to incorporate more skating. Every year I'm going to slowly bring more and more films and bring more and more activities. And I love Swell. I think they do a great job, so I really want to get them involved next year and see how we can work with them.
So this year's also Festival with the Films, there's a lot more diversity, I've noticed. What are you seeing in terms of films that we have with that, and just what does that mean to the festival in general?
Absolutely. So, I mean, every year that we've curated the festival, it's our goal to reach as many different countries, different languages, and women of different color, and ethnicities, and it's challenging. And it when I started out, there just wasn't any content really covering a lot of people because surfing can be an expensive sport in some countries, and like you said, swimming is not even a priority for a lot of kids growing up, or it's just not accessible.
Or people just have not seen it, the representation. So if you don't see it, it's hard to think you could do it even, I think. Exactly. That's like a really huge thing is the representation.
Exactly.
So, I mean, that's 8-10 years ago, there is nothing really out there, unfortunately.
And that also is reflective of the film. So people were like asking me, why isn't there more diverse films? I'm like, that there isn't anything out there. And I'm like, I'm trying. I'm trying to reach those corners. And so now I think just because we're in the time that we are now, 2021, more people are traveling, well, post-COVID, more pre-COVID, more people were traveling and stories were being shared. So now this year is definitely the most diverse that I have in terms of storylines and content and women surfing. Emerger is a special film that was actually co-produced with WSL. The director Tyler Dunham, I'm going to do a Q&A with him, includes what was co-produced with Black Girls Surf.
Yeah.
And it's a really amazing story about the first woman to surf in her hometown of Dakar.
Wow.
In Senegal. It gives you goosebumps. It's like, it's amazing. She can surf, and now Black Girls Surf have like raised enough money. They take them from to California and train them to be professional surfers.
Rhonda Harper, right?
Yeah.
She's amazing.
So there's a lot of diversity this year, and I'm really thrilled to be partnering and supporting La Rubaya because of what the work they're doing and what I'm doing. I'm like able to show the community, for those young girls that think that it's not for them, it is for them. It is for you. It's for everyone. It's a shared sport that sometimes it's not accessible, but I feel like surfers of any sport are really unique. They really will bend over trying to help and make it easier for people to learn. And
well, I think it comes down to representation.
Yes.
When I was a kid, I watched Aki and Tom Curran and imagined myself, and I think it's like, if you see someone up on a screen and you can then put yourself in there, someone who looks like you, you can start to put yourself in that place, and
Absolutely.
really it becomes much more of a reality. And so, again, this festival is so important for that reason, because the more people can see this stuff, the more it can expand out and diversify our lineups and give better representation and make people feel comfortable out there, not paddle out and feel like, oh, I'm the only one here.
Right.
That's really important too.
Absolutely. We have a film. There was a lot of film content coming out with Danielle Lyons from Textured Waves.
Nice.
She's doing really good work with her collective as well on the west side. Yeah. So we've included a film by Ben Roundtree called Textured. But yeah, it's exciting. This year is just really inspiring. It's a collective of professional surfers, young girls, soul surfers, cold water surfers, ebb and flow, like that will get you cold, and it's exciting. There's not one film here that I don't walk away thinking, what a wonderful story, and I hope someone will get something out of that.
Totally.
Be inspired. We Are Like Waves is also premiering. Sri Lanka. She's a beautiful girl. When I say beautiful, I mean just all in.
Yeah.
But she's really, it's like breakthrough of one of the first female Sri Lankan surfers there, and all the challenges she has to face to become a surfer, just to surf. What kind of challenges some people have to go through is just incredible. I feel so grateful that we don't have anything like that. We can, if you want to surf, you can, and for some women in different countries, it's just not that easy.
Yeah, no, you have a lot of cultural stigmas that you have to overcome, religious and others, and just even to learn to swim alone is like a huge cultural barrier for a lot of people in general. So I mean that's incredible.
Yeah.
So God, I mean it seems like you have like a well-rounded program here.
Yes, I do.
know?
I could talk about this for hours. I'm not kidding. I'm like looking at all these films, like every film, you know, touches us. You know, every film reflects what's happened, you know, and Voices of the Ocean, Patagonia, you know, presented that.
What's this one?
Belinda Baggs.
Oh, who
right?
doesn't love Belinda?
Oh, I know. And Liz Clark. And my internet's dying here. It just touches on like what we can do to
environmentalism.
Yes,
Yeah.
to make a change, and we'll touch on that in other parts of the festival too, because we have special guests talking about that. But I mean, all the films, I'm really excited. We've got the director from Surf Girls, Kai Kana, Rooted in Culture. It's like one episode of 3. She's amazing. She's coming all the way from California.
What's that one about?
Basically, these girls were born and raised in Ohio. Oahu, thank you. Very different places.
Yes.
And they grew up surfing together, and it's just really talking about the next chapter. I mean, these girls rip. They are so amazing. And they just kind of explore what it means to be a female surfer. And this episode I selected because I love that they're really talking about culture in Hawaii and...
Hawaiian surf culture and women in it and its place, I imagine, is like, you know, for so long, like women were equal to men in surf culture in ancient, you know, in older Hawaiian history, you know, there was no differentiation. And, you know, and I feel like and there's always been very strong contingent of female surfers, but I think now it's like really becoming much more so and giving much more publicity, which is really important.
Absolutely.
And shining more light on it.
Absolutely.
Which is really awesome.
Yeah, so it's really beautiful. It's well shot. It's just, it will make you smile. But yeah, it's just so many. I can't. There's even more. I won't go through all of them.
You don't have to go through all of them. You know, it's just giving our listeners here a little taste of what we have coming up this week.
Morgan Mason's back. I love Morgan.
He's awesome.
Imogen. Oh my God. Sorry. Okay, I'm going to stop talking about the film.
So what else do we have? We have some panel discussions.
Yes, we do.
All right. So let's go through the schedule here.
Yes.
All right.
It's a lot.
So like Monday, the September 6th, we have the Single Fin Group Art Show and the East to West opening reception, and you have the special film screening.
Yep, that's all at the Rockaway Beach Surf Club.
Excellent, excellent. And then on Wednesday, the 8th, you have here the Overcoming Fear in Surf panel discussion. So what is this? And it's at 7 o'clock. It's at the Rockaway Beach Hotel?
Yes, just the Rockaway Hotel.
The Rockaway Hotel.
That's
Sorry.
okay. That's okay.
I can't help but throw the beach in there sometimes.
Yes, it's at the Rockaway Hotel. We're really excited to be hosting our half-hour shows there as well, as well as the
What
surf
a
club.
venue.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
They did a great job. And Wednesday night, 7 p.m., we are doing a panel discussion / conversation. And the topic is overcoming fear. Yeah. So why we did this, you know, I want to touch on things that are different that I feel that we all, it's the same shared language. We all have fear. Affects all of us. It doesn't matter if you've been just learning how to surf. It doesn't matter if you had a hold down and you felt like you nearly drowned, or you had a surfing accident, or it's just sometimes just daunting just to go out and see like 50 people out there surfing. Like that can be a level of fear. So there's so many. It's like fear of looking like an idiot and like a kook.
Totally.
You know, I still feel that way.
We all do.
Right.
You know, it's always. I paddle out. If I don't know certain people in lineup, I have the fear of looking like a total kook and then like not getting waves, or my ego, and you know, to getting hurt. And you know, there's so many aspects to that conversation. So
absolutely.
Who's going to be on the panel?
Yeah, so we have the wonderful Diane Cardwell,
Awesome.
which I'll talk a little bit more about her because we have a special event on the Thursday for her. She was on your show,
yes,
right?
well, we'll get into that in a second.
So she's a journalist, author, and surfer, and she lives here in Rockaway Beach. She's going to be moderating a panel with Will Scudden and
Amazing.
Jeff Anthony from